Well, let's welcome Marty.
So we're going to talk about saving the world. I too have had some pretty serious medical issues, and one of the things that made me realize I have cancer is that life is short. You get out of this world what you put into it, and I wasn't putting nearly enough into it, frankly. And so one of the ideas I had, and I think I started to understand that our marketing doesn't put enough into it either. This infographic says that 15% of the people care about the social responsibility of the companies that they give money to. I think that number is growing too, by the way, with social media. It certainly grew in my life because I didn't want to do meaningless tasks anymore. In fact, it's very difficult to get me to pay a bill right now because, who cares, right? This slide from Amplify you can't really see, and I used it because it introduces this idea of these tectonic shifts that we're experiencing. Does anybody feel like life is a little bit overwhelming right now? I got to tell you, I do as a marketer because things change all the time. One of the things that is important is this idea of cause marketing, social marketing. I worked with one of the godfathers of social marketing for several years. This man created a charity that helps families do family planning all over the world, and he was an incredible man. The other thing that we as marketers are experiencing is this idea that we have to do more faster all the time. We have to cope. We have to create once and publish everywhere because our messages are only as good as the people that are carrying them. That's the other thing that struck me as I thought about my life and its context, is that really what happened when I heard the big C and my name in the same sentence was I realized that life is short. And what really mattered wasn't career accomplishments or money. It was family and friends and the people I've helped. Those three things. And so I got into this idea and I started thinking, what can I do? I'm this one guy, I have a little bit of money saved, and I don't have nearly as much time as I thought I was going to have. And so I decided that we were going to try and cure cancer. Little thing, One of the ways we're going to do that is to be in perpetual beta, to constantly share, to constantly tweak, and to break down the barriers between us and them. I'm a marketer with cancer, and I go to doctors, and they kind of treat me a little bit like I'm, like not them. Guess what? I also can go on social media, and I can talk, and I can learn, and the reason I go to UNC to my particular doctor is because he speaks to me like he collaborates with me. He speaks to me in a way that says, we're working together, right? Guess what? That idea is something we all better get used to because Mr. Google, and if you ask me how I've made $30 million online, it's by doing what Google tells me to do, by the way. Google says, become an authority. Think and act less proprietarily. Think and act for the good of the whole, right? When Google says do that, this is the whole do no evil thing. People think that's just window dressing. You're wrong. That really matters in the way that Google is treating us in a post-Panda and Penguin world. Does people know Panda, Penguin in this room? A couple people. So Panda and Penguin were the algorithm changes that affects what I do for a living. I'm an internet marketer, and when Google changes the algorithm, it changes everything I do. Now let's talk about nonprofits. I love nonprofits. Nonprofits are instinctive about trying to save the world. They already speak about their mission in the context of changing the world, saving the world. We heard about a couple today, picking up trash, I love it. Helping orphans in Africa, those are great things. These are emotional storytelling, right? This is what nonprofits excel at. They tell stories so great. They tell them in videos, and they tell them in writing. They tell them on social media. Now let's think about the people I've worked for most of my career. The Procters & Gamble's, the M&M Marses. I currently am the marketing director at Atlantic BT. We're very good at creating reach, creating viral marketing, doing testing and logic. Can you see the right brain, left brain split here? What I think has to happen for us all to be successful is the for-profits better get really good at storytelling, and the not-for-profits better get very good at SEO. And so that's one of the missions for what I'm doing with the rest of my life. I've created a foundation called the Story of Cancer Foundation. The first project for that is called Cure Cancer Starter. It is Kickstarter for cancer research. We have 5 pilot centers, UNC, Duke, my 2 treating institutions among them. My employer, Atlantic BT, is in it dollar for dollar with me. We've put up $50,000, and we're going to change the way cancer research is funded. Because right now, the laboratory is a closed room, and there's a bunch of gatekeepers, and they decide who gets the money. And I want us to decide who gets the money. I want us to be involved, and I want to have a say. And so that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Now, why is that important to you guys? Well, there's a couple reasons why. One is because I want your children to only know about cancer from books. That's one idea. The other is that in your life and in your personal brands, these ideas of storytelling and emotional connection, as we've seen tonight, are beyond critical. They are the things that your career will be made on. They are the things that your life will turn on. And what I can tell you is, life is too short to do anything else.